Hi, this is Omar from Group Consultancies, and I'm going to present here the SQL Server Manager, which is an application that we have created using Access VBA, and you can download it free from our website. Double click. The user front for this application is similar to the user front in MySQL Manager. Let's click at Connection Details. In MySQL Manager, we need only to put the server name, the computer in the network that we dedicated to be the server. Here, we need to put the server name, backslash, and the SQL instance. And in this case, we are using SQL Express. You can download SQL Server Express from Microsoft free. So the server name is test PC backslash and then SQL Express. User is Omar. The password is the same, Omar. We can keep the database blank. Click OK. And we are now in the SQL Server Express. And we have only one database, which is CRM data. I put the CRM data before. I'm not going here to speak about the functions of this application because these functions are almost equivalent to the functions in MySQL Manager. So if you go to MySQL Manager video and moved on to point 16 minutes and 26 seconds, then from this point onward, the how to do details there is equivalent to the how to do details for this application. So I really don't need to repeat the details again, as the details in MySQL Manager is actually equivalent to the details here. So just go to our website, doconsult.com, and click at free applications. I didn't put yet at the moment the application SQL Server Manager, but you'll find at number 7 MySQL Server Manager, and this is the video. It is 58 minutes. Click at it. It is on YouTube. Click at it and start from 16 minutes 26 seconds, and from this point onward, the how to do details there is equivalent to the how to do details for this application. So for example, if you want to add a new database, you click at options here in front of database and click add a new database. And if you want to drop a database, you click at here, drop database. And this is equivalent, exactly equivalent to the functions in MySQL Manager application. The same if you want to create a new table or drop a table, and the same if you want to create a field or drop a field, and it's the same for creating users in the database or creating users in the system. So all the details that are explained in MySQL Manager video are applicable here. Now, I want to clarify some points that might be useful for new users. If you are installing SQL Server for the first time, then the following might be useful. Let's speak about terminology first. A server is a machine. It's a computer machine that is located in the network, and it is dedicated to serve other computers in that network. So the server is a machine. SQL Server is a software. It's an application that you install in the server, in the machine, and SQL Server is an application that can store and manage data. So let's go to the server. We did open the server through remote desktop connection, and this is the server. This is the computer that is dedicated in the network as a server. SQL Server that we installed here is SQL Server Express 2014, and SQL Server Express can be downloaded free from Microsoft website. If you want to check that our SQL Server is working properly, you go to Computer, open Control Panel, click Add Administrative Tools. This is the data sources, object database connectivity. This is the 64-bit data sources. Click here, double click. You have the dialog window, object database data source administrator. Click Add. We go to SQL Server, finish. Name, just make any name, it's a dummy name, just put dummy name. Description: server is test PC / SQL Express. Finish. Test data source. Test complete successfully. It means that SQL Server is working. However, if you have just installed SQL Server or SQL Server Express, then this test will not be working. The report will be failure. The reason that SQL Server need to be activated first. To do so, go to the SQL Configuration Manager. This is Microsoft SQL Server 2014 configuration tools. This is the configuration manager. Click at it and you will get this window. Now go to SQL Server Services. This need to be running. This is for SQL Express. We have only one SQL Server here instance, SQL Server instance, which is SQL Express. This, when you first install this application, this will not be running. So you need to click at it and click at Start. The same for SQL Server Browser. It will not be running. You click at it and you click at Start. Then at the server network configuration, click at Protocols for SQL Express. We have only one instance, which is SQL Express. Click at TCP/IP, IP addresses. Down here, IP all, TC port. This need to be 1433, which is the default port for SQL Server. Also, you need to go to Services, Administrative Tools, Services. You click here and you will get this window. Just type S, and this is the instance of SQL Server SQL Express. Click at it. This needs to be automatic. It might be at manual. This needs to be changed to automatic. It means that this service will open immediately when the server is switched on. The same as for SQL Server Browser. It needs to be automatic and starting. Sometimes, for one reason or another, if you switch off the computer or the server and then you restarted it, SQL Server Express, this one, will not be starting, although it is automatic. I found this problem sometimes when I was dealing with this computer, test PC, and I found that SQL Server wasn't working, and the reason was that for one reason or another it didn't start. So you just go to services and check if it's starting or not, if it's running or not. If SQL Server was working in the server, but the client, a computer client, couldn't connect to SQL Server, then highly likely there is a firewall problem. The firewall, either in the server or the client, need to be configured in order for SQL to pass from the server to the client. There are many articles in the internet speaking about how to solve connection problems with SQL Server. One of the articles that I found very useful is this one. It's an article by Jogal Shah in a website called MS SQL Tips. The title of the article is Resolving Could Not Open a Connection to SQL Server Errors, and I found this article very, very useful. I hope this video was useful, and thank you for watching.